Hey, Valerie, Dawn here. This is my weekend project. I'm making placemats. I've made these placemats many times. I just love them. They're really versatile. You can do pretty colors like this. You can have formal colors, match your dishes. They're a lot of fun to make and easy. I've created a pattern that will make 10. Here is the fabric requirements. I've quilted my own backing, but I have a medium arm quilt frame, and I'll just turn it over so you can see the quilt pattern I've used. If you don't have a frame, which many people don't, you can buy pre-quilted fabric, and that's what I recommend. If you like to make your own, that's fine too. You just need a fabric top and the backing and batting. You don't have to do a flower pattern like this. You can do straight lines, do like a diagonal hatch pattern, or just pick some up at your local fabric store. All you need is a matching fabric for the outside border. Here is the layout to make 10. I've already cut mine out. It's best to use a cutting mat and rotary cutter so you have very straight edges. I have created this part of the pattern from Electric Quilt 8. This is the rotary cutting diagram. So they're 4 inches wide. To make 10 placemats, you need to cut 20 of patch A and 20 of patch B. I like to cut these in the same direction as the fabric grain. So rather than across this way, and I'll just show you on my fabric, I've already folded this, so line up the salvage edge, press that. I like to fold it in 4, and we're going to cut 4-inch strips. The fabric grain direction doesn't stretch, but if you look at the other way, you get quite a bit of stretch in the fabric. That makes quite a difference when you're sewing around the edge and the fabric stretch. So I like to cut them this way. Now I've also shown you here the layout that I'm using to get 20 of each. This makes maximum use of my 2 yards of fabric. You don't need a lot of expensive tools. And along here, and we're just going to cut off this salvage. What I need is a 4-inch wide strip. These cutting mats have 45-degree angles and lines to help you cut. I'm going to do them one at a time so I don't make any errors. So just open that up. I'm also going to turn my mat around so it's closer to me here. Alright. So line that up like that, and that's going to give you a 45-degree angle here. I'm going to cut this 19 3/4. My mat's not quite long enough for that. That's 19 3/4. Let me just flip my mat around again. I want the line to go this way, which is the opposite of this side. Double check your measurement. Measure twice, cut once. All right. Now, I'm just going to turn this around. Well, first of all, I'm going to miter this edge. Line it up. A match. Now, I'm going to use my first one to measure it. And again, I can use the line on my cutting board right there. Okay, so I have the 2 long edges. Now I just need to do the 2 short edges. And there's 14 3/4. There we go. And all I need to do is trim this last one to the same size. And I'm good to go. Alright, and I've made maximum use of that strip of fabric. So I have those edges and I'm ready to get out my sewing machine. I've got my right sides together. I want to mark a 1/2 inch, a water erasable marker, and I will just put a little line right here so I know where 1/2 inch is, because I'm going to stitch down here and stop there. A 1/2 inch mark on my sewing machine. Place your needle right on that line we just drew. Press your foot down and take a couple of stitches, back up, one more. Okay, and then now I don't have a walking foot for this machine. It's a good idea if you do have a walking foot, because it will prevent it. This is cut on the bias, and it will stretch a little bit. I'm just going to back stitch that a bit. All right. Snip that. Okay, we have a nice mitered edge. Open it up. There. Now, repeat that all the other 3 corners. I have finished all 4 corners that are mitered. I've warmed up my steam iron. I just need to press each corner open. So there we go, just open that. Give it just a bit of steam, and that's starting to look like a nice border. Grab your scissors, snip off the dog ears. Okay, that's all my dog ears snipped off. Get rid of those. The next step is that we are going to press these edges under 1/2 inch. I'll flip it upside down, and I will just turn this up like that. I like to use my ruler just to hold it down and measure it exactly 1/2 inch right along there. See that? Now, it's a nice straight edge. It's a 1/2 inch. Grab you my iron. Hold it in place. Keep your fingers out of the way. The steam is quite hot. There. And then just go around to each edge. These are wonderful rulers on the grid. I will leave a link in the description below, an affiliate link. I really appreciate if you use my affiliate links. It just gives me a small commission and helps me keep making content. And it's all ready to assemble with the quilt backing. When this is finished, this is what it's going to look like. But to finish off the edges, I want you to take the backing and flip it over. So you're looking at the back side. And then you turn this so that the right side is placed right here on the backing. And you simply pin this together all around, and then we're going to get the sewing machine out. We are at the point where we are stitching the border together with the backing, the quilted backing. And what we do is, it's a 1/2 inch seam. Even if you make it 3/8, it's okay. And I am just going to stitch all the way around. Do not stitch. I do not stitch over the pins. Okay, as we come to the corner, make sure that lays flat as you stitch over that seam. And I don't know if you can see that. Okay, we're just going to lift that, do one cornerwise stitch. I'm just going to back stitch. Pivot. Remove that pin. Down and keep going. I've stitched all the way around, and now it's time to just trim the corners a little and turn it inside out. I will trim it across here. I like to take a bit off of here and here. Remember, this is quilted, so it's bulky. All right, now we are going to turn it inside out. And we'll just get everything turned, and then we'll find a tool to help poke out these corners. All right, let me find something. Grab one of my knitting needles here. Turn this. There. Now we just need to press this. And one thing you can do is just lay this over here and just press that lightly. And then lay it and roll it so that that backing is hidden, just like that. And then just go along the edge with a bit of steam, so that that's nice and flat. Watch it for the steam. It's quite hot. This is where this little steam iron comes in handy. It's just small, and I can get it in small spaces. We have one last step, and that's to top stitch around the inside border. All we need to do, we already have this pressed under, pin it in place all the way around. Because this is top stitching, I've selected a matching thread. If you can see this nice light blue, it's a match to the border. All right, find an obscure kind of place to begin. Right along here. I don't mark these. I just kind of eyeball it, and I put in a couple of stitches and a back stitch, and then I stitch all the way around. And again, because we cut this border in the same direction as the grain, it's laying nice and flat and not stretching. Once you come to the corner, I'm going to take this pin out of the way. I'm going to get my stiletto here and just hold that down. Slowly work up to the corner, and you might want to hand turn it because we want to stop at the needle precisely in this mitered seam right here, and then pivot and keep going. Now we've come all the way around. I like to overlap it and do a few lock stitches so that doesn't come out. And we're finished. And that's our quilted placemat. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. Please press like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.